Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is currently, let's see, oh, I got a text from Mel. It is currently 6:40 p.m. on this wonderful fall evening that very much feels like Halloween. And Alex is inside and he is eating. He got some chicken fingers and he is eating his chicken fingers and watching Grey's Anatomy. And I am getting ready to go inside and eat because Alex took me to Yats and I got 2 regular orders of spinach and mushroom etouffee with garlic French bread, extra garlic French bread, and I was gonna get a piece of their peanut butter pie, which is like massive, it's like this big. And the girl was like, have you ever had our pumpkin cheesecake? And I was like, it's not even on the menu. I didn't even see it on the menu, right? And she was like, oh, it's so good. I don't think I said that. I was like, oh, you have pumpkin cheesecake? And she was like, yeah. And she was like, it's so good. They outsource it from some other bakery. Well, they're not a bakery, but they outsource it from a bakery. And so they have like these 2 cookies that they get there. Like one's like a toffee cookie and one's like, I think like a peanut butter cookie or something like that. And then they usually have like 1 or 2 different kinds of pies. And so the pies are, I've had the peanut butter pie before. It is so delicious and it's huge. It's like this big. So I haven't looked at the pumpkin cheesecake yet, but I had the pumpkin cheesecake that Alex brought me home the other night. And so I am really, really excited about having this pumpkin cheesecake tonight. So yeah, so after I get done vlogging, I'm not going to vlog for a long time tonight. Just do a little check-in update tonight once I get done, because it's already kind of like dark out here. I'm going to have to start vlogging earlier and earlier, or the vlogs are going to be like really like in pitch dark, or I'm going to have to start bringing a light out here or something. But Alex was supposed to go out tonight. He was supposed to go with friends downtown, but like after like last night of being out and stuff like that, he decided that he just wanted to stay in tonight. And so we're gonna watch movies, and we're gonna watch we're either gonna watch like the Midnight Club, that TV show on Netflix, or we're gonna watch like 1 or 2 scary movies or something like that. So that'll be fun. We have popcorn and candy here and stuff, so it'll be real fun. And then tomorrow I'm sure we'll get brunch and do a whole lot of nothing. And then Monday is Halloween and I'm super excited for Halloween. I don't know how much I will do as far as like videos and stuff on Halloween, because so Alex has to work and we have to be at Caroline's at 5 on Monday. And so Alex was like, well, do you want to just Uber to my work and then I can drive us to Caroline's? And I was like, well, I'll just Uber to Caroline's and then I can get there early and I can like help her get ready and, you know, whatever. She's not she's only having like 5 or 6 people, but anyway. So I think that's what I'm going to do on Monday, which I'm kind of really excited about because that's different than, you know, I can get there early and help her set up like the chili dinner and all that kind of stuff. And then, so yeah, so I don't know, tonight and tomorrow I'll probably watch scary stuff and just kind of relax and be chill and be calm. You know, just ran errands today and did that stuff. It was nice. Slept in. We've been trying this thing like sometimes when we leave that we don't put Boo Radley in his house, that we leave him out. And Alex was so cute. He was like pulling up the Disney Channel or Disney Plus, and he was trying to find a movie for Boo Radley to have like in the background that would be like dog noises and stuff. So he pulled up Lady and the Tramp and put on Lady and the Tramp in the background while we were gone. And so when we left, Boo Radley was like barking like at the door. He was like, "Arr," like, don't leave me, right? And we usually always close like the bedroom door. And when we came home, we must have left the bedroom door open. When we came home, like we walked in and like Boo Radley wasn't like standing there and he didn't like rush us or anything like that. And all of a sudden we're like, hello? And Boo Radley came running down the stairs from upstairs. It was so cute. He was upstairs like in bed. So sweet. I got a Sierra Mist at Yats. These are the cups they have. They're just these plain styrofoam cups. I don't know why, but with yaks, with like the red beans and rice and stuff like that, I love just Sierra Mist. Or I tried Sierra Mist or root beer. I tried new hot sauce today. So I was going to take a picture and show you guys. They have like 20 kinds of hot sauce. I mean, probably more than that. I mean, literally like 20 or 30 different kinds. I bet it's close to like 30 kinds of hot sauce. They have them like all in these plastic bottles, and then they're labeled. Like Louisiana hot sauce, Crystals, spicy Louisiana hot sauce. They have one that's called like Danny DeVito. They have one that's called like Ryan Reynolds. They have all these different hot sauces. And then they have like Cajun powder. They have like Chipotle hot sauce. The fire hot sauce. I mean, they have like Crystals. Did I say Crystals already? I think Crystals is probably my favorite. And so I always take out, like, they come in like these styrofoam packages, like your stuff, you know, and I always take it and then I like drizzle the hot sauce over it. And then when I eat it, I just like mix it all together. So I'm so excited for it. Yeah, so I'm going to go in there and eat that, and I don't know what I'm going to watch while I eat it. Because I'll just watch something on my iPad and then, well, probably Unsolved Mysteries. Because I'm finishing the episode about the Navajo Reservation. I watched a little bit more of that, and then I've got the last episode that they put out, which I don't have any idea. Well, I guess I could find out what that's about right now. Let's see how much more of the last episode I have. Okay, hold on a second. Oh, I'm about 3/4 of the way through. What Happened to Josh is the last episode that I have to watch. 20-year-old Josh Gumand leaves a college party without a word and is never seen again. 2 decades later, his loved ones just want answers. That almost kind of sounds like a podcast that I would listen to. You know, while I'm on here, I haven't done this in a while. Let's look at some of the comments on the vlog. I was actually reading them earlier, so. Tanya was talking about that her boyfriend works for UPS, and around the holidays people give him gifts and nice tips, which I know he really appreciates. I think that's so nice. So we should do that too. Brooke said, I just love how positive your comment section is. It really speaks to the type of community you have built and what a safe space this is for many people. God bless, Peter, and have a great weekend. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And, you know, it really is not about me. I mean, I'm just a guy that gets on camera and just talks. You know, it really is about you guys. I mean, I think there's a lot of YouTubers out there that just get on video and talk, and their comment sections are like people fighting and things like that. And I don't really know, to be honest with you. I don't know what makes it different. Like, and like I said when I was talking about it the other day, it's not just this channel. It's like most of my channels. I would say like my drama channel, like people argue a little bit in there. But even then, like they really don't. And I think there's like people that are convinced that like I delete comments off of my, I don't delete comments off my drama channel. Like people can say what they want to say. And like if you're gonna threaten somebody or whatever, I'll just block somebody, because like then they don't need that space to do that. But I can't even remember the last time that happened. I mean, I can't even remember a specific example to cite, like, oh, that happened like a year ago or whatever. I mean, I really honestly can't even remember a time that has happened on my drama channel the last time. But there's people that disagree, and there's people that, you know, have things to say and whatever, and I think it's like, give people a place to, you know, have their say. I think, you know, over here, it's like, well, what are people, like, I mean, as far as like a nice comment section, I mean, I'm talking about being scared of my dog dying at 13 and, you know, missing my mom and what we're doing for Halloween. I mean, it's really, what are people going to say? You know what I mean? It's like, or talking about like, you know, that my neighbors give gifts to the mailman. I mean, it's just like, it's not that deep, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, or maybe it is, I don't know, you know, and maybe it's just we're just talking, and so there's just not tons to say, you know. Like, I mean, most of the comments that I get, I notice, are people like responding to a specific thing. Like here, where Tanya was talking about like her husband or her boyfriend being like a UPS driver. It's like that is like, you know, a response to me talking about like my neighbors, you know, giving the mailman gifts. So I feel like that's typically what the comments are. And then there's usually like, I would say maybe per video, like 2 or 3 comments where people are like, I'm really going through a hard time, or they'll specifically share something that they're going through that's difficult. And I've noticed that there are people in there that are like, hey, like, or I hope you're okay and whatever. You know, I've noticed there's a couple people that used to comment on my vlog a lot that I noticed don't comment on my vlog at all anymore. And one of them's Linda, and I hope that she's okay. She hasn't posted on my vlog in quite some time. So Victoria goes back, and she's been like watching my vlogs from like, I think like vlog 1 or something, and then she asks these questions. And one of the questions that she asked was, how long did it take to become so organic with the camera? It seems like it was like that from the start. You know, and by the way, I just put up a Q&A on my Instagram that I'm going to do a video on my drama channel. So if you have any questions at all that you'd like to ask me, put them up over there, and I'm going to do like a Q&A in the next day or two. But, I don't know, like, I won't say that I never struggled with talking to the camera. It always just kind of seemed very natural to me. Like, I'm thinking back on, like, when I first started BookTube. I think I had to get out of my head that, like, I was talking to like a group of people, you know, like I think that I just had to realize that I'm just talking, you know, like I would just talk to my friend. And once I kind of like got that, then it seemed very comfortable to me. It was like, okay, well, if you're just talking to your friend, you're just talking to your friend. Like it's not that deep, you know what I mean? Like, talk to the camera like you would talk about anything else, and like that's how I've been. I don't really think about it like, you know, when I was like writing more, like I don't really as much anymore, but like from time to time I, you know, do I more outline stories and things like that than I actually write. But I would talk to a lot of writers, you know, and whatever, and ask them lots of questions about writing and their process of writing and things like that. And, you know, I can't remember who it was, but I asked somebody about writer's block, like what writer's block was. And it was actually kind of like a famous writer. I want to say it was like Jackie Collins or something. That Jackie Collins said that writer's block is knowing there's something that you need to write about and not like being willing to write about it. Like being resistant to writing about it. What if I just held my phone out like this? Watch this. Like, what if I just went like this? This is my light. That would be so bad, wouldn't it? But I think like when it comes to YouTube, it's very similar to that, you know? I think like a lot of people struggle with whatever their insecurity is, whether that's like, for me it was like being too heavy, you know. And I can remember starting on YouTube, and like I can remember that very first BookTube video, and I really wanted to do it. I really wanted to be part of BookTube, and I was like, God, you're so heavy, and you know, take 6 months and lose the weight and then just start BookTube. Like, as if the 6 months of me losing weight and getting into super shape, you know, was going to, I don't know, like I was going to become some couture supermodel of BookTube, you know, and it was going to make me blast to superstardom or something. Like, it was going to make all the difference, right? And then I just was like, you're not going to lose the weight in 6 months. I mean, you're just not, you know, like, so let's just forget it. And I'm like, I keep on looking at this, like, what is on my shirt? But anyway, so I just was like, you know, make the video and have fun and do it. And I'm so glad that I did, because I mean, what ended up happening was I progressively gained more weight over my time on YouTube. I'm laughing because it's almost kind of like that. I mean, I think we can look at things in retrospect and laugh at them, right? But it's like, over the course of 6.5 years on YouTube, like, I progressively gained weight, right? I mean, I think most people know that watch my vlog channel. I've talked about it. People have noticed it. It's not like any big surprise, right? And then just recently lost weight and plateaued. And I have plateaued, I mean, like, hard. Like, I'm like, but I'm like eating what I, like, really what I want to eat. It's not healthy, but I'm just like eating what I want to eat. And but I'm back to where I was when I very first started on it on YouTube. So it's like, okay, I'm like at the exact same weight that I was when I started on YouTube. And I'm like, which is funny because, like, sometimes when I see, like, videos of mine from back then, I'm like, but you look thinner then than you did now. So I don't know. I look older now, obviously, too. But I think that's the thing. It's like, whatever your insecurity is, kind of like letting go of your insecurity and being like, okay, I'm gonna, like, push through this. You know, we've all got insecurities. We've all got things that we don't feel good about ourselves about. We've all got things that are struggles for us and that are tough, right? And I think it's like, ultimately, at the end of the day, it's like not giving power to those. Like, I love when RuPaul talks about your inner saboteur and that you're like your own worst enemy, because I think that people, like, I'm really inspired by people that, now, not people that aren't, not cocky, okay, but people that are, like, innately confident. I wish I was that way. I do. I'm not, and I struggle a lot from social anxiety, and I'm real shy. I know people, you probably don't think that from seeing me on video talking and flipping fans and whatever, but I am. I mean, like, that's not who I am, like, out in public. Like, out in public, I'm not flipping fans and, hey, whatever, you know? Do I have those moments? Yes. Do I have those moments when I'm with one friend? Yes. And, like, if I'm with Tanya, or if I'm with Valerie, or whatever, you know, it's like, I can be like, you know, like, have those moments where I'm just, like, dancing around in public even, you know, and not caring what people think, because I think I feel safe when I have people that I love around me. So, like, with Alex, or, you know, like Valerie or Tanya or whoever, you know, Melissa, like, I can feel that way. I think for me, one of the things is, like, I don't ever connect the camera, whether it's like, oh, by the way, I'm talking on TikToks again. I'm trying to do TikToks. Well, I'm not going to do one tonight because it's getting so late, but I'm going to do one tomorrow, and then I'm going to try to do one every day, and I'm just talking to the TikTok about life. And I actually did, yesterday, I did the one where I was talking about the pizza bell. So go over and hear me talk about the pizza bell on my TikTok. So it would mean a lot to me if y'all would go over there and follow my TikToks. I'm going to get TikTok famous is what it is. But no, whether it's TikTok or whether it's Instagram or whether it's just me talking to the camera or whatever, like, I've never, like, it always just feels to me like I'm talking to one person. Like, it doesn't ever feel to me like I'm talking to, like, a number that you see underneath a video. Like, that never feels real to me. And never has. Which I think to some degree is why I've always been very cognizant and aware of, like, each number being a subscriber, because I just see it that way. Like, I just, to this day, I still see, like, each number being, like, a subscriber, because I feel like I'm talking just to one person. I don't feel like I'm talking to, like, you know, 100 people or 1,000 people or whatever. So, yeah, I think it's about, you know, and I think that's not just on YouTube, but I think about, like, anything in life is, like, what is your biggest insecurity? And if you look at the things that you want to do in your life, whether it's go to a dance class or, you know, go to a book club. I mean, I started my BookTube channel, and I started a book club on my BookTube channel because I was too scared to go to a physical book club here in town. Like, I don't think people really understand sometimes how bad my social anxiety is, okay? I was invited by my neighbor, who I know very well, right? to go to be part of a book club, which is like 6 or 7, 8 older women in this neighborhood, that terrifies me. I'm not lying. Like, I'm not making that up. Like, that, like, terrifies me to, like, even think about what that might be like for me. You know, like, to have to walk in the door and be like, oh, hi, how are you? Like, I'm Peter. Like that scares me. And unless you suffer from that, I don't think that you really... It's a physical manifestation of fear. Like, I don't think you really can understand what it truly feels like, you know, unless you go through that. I also know today I'm not willing to, like, I don't care, to be honest with you, I don't care too deeply about, because I've got the book club with Mel and all this other kind of stuff, and I'm thinking about and going back in January and doing the book club on Instagram again and things like that. I don't care so much about joining a neighborhood book club, but I haven't ruled it out. And I think it's nice that they invited me. I think that that's really cool, you know. I'm not so willing today to allow my insecurities and my social anxiety to keep me from enjoying life. Like, I'm not. Like, I think because I did for so long, there were so many things that I missed out on for so long that I would just say no to. It was so much more, and it still is this way today. Like, I'm so pulled towards, like, you know, just let me stay at home and put on my PJs and watch TV. And that's not just a comfort thing. Like, that's not just I like to be comfortable in my pajamas and watching TV. That's also I don't want to have to go outside of my comfort zone of being social. Like, I don't like that. Like, it's not comfortable for me to be have to be super social like that, you know? And, so, yeah. So, yeah. Okay, let's look at a different comment. That was a good question, though. Okay. A couple of you commented on here and said that you would love Peter's cozy neighborhood mystery. Maybe. We'll see. Jesse said, Peter, could you tell us why you're a vegetarian? Is it to save animals? Does meat make you sick? You just dislike meat? Just curious. My daughter is a vegetarian too because she's a big animal lover and cannot bring herself to eat them. Okay, so the way that it started for me was... Oh, you guys, it's so dark out here, isn't it? The way that it started for me... Like, I'm half tempted to... I'm going to turn the light on and we'll just see how it goes. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. Is it horrible? See, the reality is I should be sitting in that chair, but I hate sitting in that chair because it's just not comfortable. And we have the coffin from Crumble Cookies, like, sat up over there, and then I'll hit that off. And okay, so anyway, and now it's, like, out of focus, and it's gonna have to be what it is. Look, you guys, I'm, like, hot mess central today. The way... I don't even really know, to be honest with you, how long I've been a vegetarian. 5 years now, maybe? Something like that. It's either 4 years or 5 years, but I think it's 5 years. I think I just passed 5 years in August. So I actually, if you want to know, I actually kind of like chronicled the whole journey on my vlog. Like, I mean, not like day by day, but like I talked about it a lot on my vlog. Because I was really worried about the public response to it. So I started because I had watched... Somebody recommended for me to watch this, like, PETA video. You guys know PETA? And it was like this 3-minute propaganda video. I mean, I knew it was propaganda when I watched it. And it was talking about the environment. Of which I do care about the environment. And it was like saying that if you're a vegetarian just for 30 days, that you greatly reduce your carbon imprint on the world. And I was like, just by being a vegetarian for 30 days, and it was talking about, like, I feel like I should move over to that chair because of the light. You guys don't care, do you? Tell me in the comment section below if you care, because I mean, going forward, I'm gonna have to figure out something. Maybe I'll just get like a ring light for the camera or something. I actually have one inside, but it's so bad, you guys. It doesn't work at all. But anyway, it's like a ring light you put on the back of the camera, and it doesn't like work at all. But anyway, so I was like, this can't be true, that just by being a vegetarian for 30 days. Well, so I was like, well, I can do this for 30 days. So I started it, and I was a vegetarian for 30 days. And I really struggled. Like, I was like, I don't think I can do this. Like, I don't think I can make it 30 days, but I did. And at the end of 30 days, and I'm not a healthy vegetarian. Like, I want you guys to know that. Like, I mean, I eat a lot of processed food. I eat a lot of, like, the meat, you know, substitutes, like, all that kind of stuff. The Beyond Meat, the Impossible Meat. I go to that section at Fresh Time and all that kind of stuff. I'm just not a super healthy vegetarian. I need to be, and I should be, but I'm not. But anyway, and I'm not a vegan, and I don't know that I ever will be. I might be at some point, but at this point, I'm not. So, and I had been, this was the thing, I had been a vegetarian before, and when I met Alex, I actually was a vegetarian, and that's a story for another day. But anyway, we were on a trip to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and I stopped being a vegetarian. So, I can't really remember the details of it, but it was like coming up on the end of the 30 days, and I was like, and I would say it in vlogs, and I would say I'm just not going to be a vegetarian anymore, because like this is like I did my 30 days and whatever or something. And this was the thing, like I was kind of at that point, I was like at a year of being on YouTube, like a year and a half, and I was kind of new to the whole like reception of how people like treat you on YouTube and things like that. And so I was really scared about coming out and saying, like, I don't want to be a vegetarian anymore. Like, I went and ate chicken fingers last night. Because if you're vegan or vegetarian on YouTube and you talk about it, and that's a big part of your YouTube platform, whatever, which is such BS, right? And then you start eating meat again, people literally come for you. I mean, it is huge. Like, I was joking in my video the other day, and I said there used to be so much, like, vegan drama. Well, there was. Like, there were so many people out there that were vegan that did, like, all these videos, and then it would come out that they started eating meat again, or people would take pictures of them at restaurants and whatever, and it literally would ruin their whole career, right? And there was all of this, like, vegan and vegetarian drama. And I just didn't want that. And so I said from the very beginning, I was like, now if I want to start eating meat again, I'm going to start eating meat. And I'm just going to make that very, very clear. And I don't really know what happened. It was like 3 months went by, and I just kind of like did it like day by day. I struggled a little bit, you know, here and there. I will say, like, from when I had been a vegetarian before, like when Alex and I met in 2008 versus 5 years ago or whatever, it was much easier. Most restaurants have vegetarian options. There were a lot of vegetarian options for processed food that you could, like, microwave at the grocery store. That was not necessarily the case in 2008. We went to the Dominican Republic that June. So this would have been almost a year of me being a vegetarian. And when we were going there, and I even said, I can remember saying this on my vlog, I was like, now I might not be a vegetarian when I'm there, because I was already convinced that they weren't going to have any food for me. And I was like, I paid for this trip, and I want to enjoy this trip, and I want to eat what I want to eat. And if we get there and they don't have any food for me, then I'm going to eat what I want to eat, and blah, 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 whatever. And we got there, and our room wasn't ready. And so, and it was like an all-inclusive place, you know? I think it was like Secrets or Excellence or something like that. And so we went to go eat at this like oceanfront like restaurant that they had like at the resort. And like on the menu was like cheeseburger. And back in the day growing up, like when I would go to like islands and stuff like that with my dad or whatever, like I loved to have like a cheeseburger on the beach. Like it was one of my favorite things. And they had like a cheeseburger and it had like a Philly cheese sandwich. And I think that's what Alex got. And I was like furious. I was like, there's nothing for me to eat and blah, 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 whatever. And Alex was like, hold on, let me talk to this guy, the server, and see if he can, you know, figure something out for you. And so the server came over and like Alex is speaking to him in Spanish and whatever. And I was like, what did you get me? He's like, I took care of it. Don't worry, they're going to make something special for you. And so the guy like brought out this amazing grilled cheese sandwich that was like cut in these strips, and it was like laid on top of each other, and these French fries, and that were like hand cut and made. And I mean, it was unbelievable. And it was so sweet of Alex, and it was so sweet of the server, you know, and the chef and whatever. And then like every restaurant that we went to that trip, if you go to all-inclusives, you'll know that it's like they might have like 2 soups, 2 salads, you know, 4 entrees. You can pick like what do you want or whatever. Like every restaurant we went to had multiple vegetarian options on it, and I was just blown away. And I had no issue, and I ate very, very well. And so we got back, and then I think I was talking about it in a vlog, and people started suggesting these videos to me to watch about like the cow meat industry, and this video to watch. And I started watching these videos, and somebody, I think it was Jenna Marbles, somebody recommended for me to watch a Jenna Marbles video. I think, well, I love Jenna Marbles anyway, and I miss her. And but somebody recommended for me to watch, and I saw that Julian posted a video about marbles, and I haven't watched it yet. I need to watch it to see. Oh God, I hope nothing's going on. But I saw somebody posted on Twitter and said that marbles is okay, so I hope that's the case. But I think it was Jenna Marbles. If it wasn't her, I can't remember who it was. It had to have been her, because there weren't really that many people at that time that would have made that kind of impact on me. But Jenna Marbles spoke in her video about being a vegetarian, and that the reason, and it was very simple, and the reason that she was a vegetarian was that because she couldn't eat her own pets. And that she loved her pets so much because they had such personalities and souls that she couldn't eat her own pets. And something just went off in me, like, and it so resonated with me. And it was at that point that it kind of all changed. You know, like at the beginning, I would say a lot of it's never really been about the health for me, just because like I don't eat healthy and I'm overweight. And I mean, there's a lot of really heavy overweight vegetarians. There just really are. I mean, that's the fact. And there's a lot of vegetarians that are not healthy because they're not eating, you know, from the main food groups and the food pyramid and all that kind of stuff, right? So, but it was at that point that I think that it changed for me, you know, because I would like look at my dogs and I would think, I couldn't go there, like, you know. And I've always been somebody that there's been certain things that like I really struggled eating, from like lamb to deer, which like in Indiana a lot of people eat deer, to like even fish. And I can remember, like, this is gonna sound so crazy, but like one of my favorite movies as a kid was The Water Babies, and it's based on a book. And you guys, this is so out of focus, and so the lighting is so bad. Anyway, I'll figure it out, and I will do something better tomorrow. I'll try to be out here earlier tomorrow. But with The Water Babies, and in The Water Babies, it's this guy that's a chimney sweep in England, and he like, it's kind of like a little bit like, it's not, but it is kind of like Finding Nemo. It's like underwater, you know, cartoon kind of thing. And but like when they're like above ground, they're like humans, like people, and like when they jump into the water, they like turn into like cartoons. And I loved this movie as a kid. And so when he's swimming underneath the water, like he interacts with fish and stuff like that. And I don't know what it was about that movie, but like I always saw like fish as like having I couldn't like eat a piece like a fish. I can remember my dad and we went to Hawaii when I was like 10. It's the only time I've ever been to Hawaii. We went there for like a business trip that he had, and I remember that he got like mahi or something. It was some kind of fish, like some kind of special fish, you know, that you would like mostly get in Hawaii. And I remember when they brought it out on the plate, it literally looked like they took the fish from the ocean and laid it like right on the plate. And I remember like my dad was like, try a piece of it. I was like, I literally could not do it because it was like looking at the fish, you know, like in the ocean swimming around. And I remember we had just been snorkeling that day or something, and I had seen these fish. It's always been like that for me. Like there's like, so mostly today, why I do it is not from an activist point of view, It's not from a health point of view. It's my love of animals is truly what mostly it is today. And also the other reason is because I don't have to. It's very simple to be a vegetarian today. And if I can, and that helps the world in any way, why would I not want to do that? And that has been proven. I know that there's going to be naysayers out there that are going to be like, well, that's not true, and humans are meant to be carnivores, and I get people want to fight me on that all the time. I don't get in the fight. And I'm also not the vegetarian that will, my husband's, he just had chicken fingers. My husband's not a vegetarian. I'm not the kind of person that will sit at a dinner table and tell you that you should be a vegetarian or what you should eat. And in fact, I can't really stand to be around those kind of vegetarians or vegans. There was this girl that we knew, and she just was like militant about all of this like stuff. And I thought she had been like vegan for like years and years on end, and I found out that she had been like vegan for like a month or something like that. I was like, are you kidding me? I don't even think she's vegan anymore, which is like whatever, but like I don't really care when people are like super preachy like that. I think it's to each his own. Make your choices, do what you want to do. And the reason why is because nobody preaching at me would have ever made me want to be a vegetarian or not be a vegetarian. It was all about what I needed to do at that time, I've had several vegetarian. I have a dear friend of mine. She's been a vegetarian. So she's like, if I'm 50, she's probably 45, 46. She's been a vegetarian since she was like 12 or 14. And she and her sister both. And she's probably the most helpful to me because like when I get cross-contaminated, and that means like when you go to a restaurant and you like order something and they cook it on the same grill as something else or whatever. And like, people will ask me, well, like you go to certain places and you get this or whatever. Well, I have to ask for things to be made in the microwave or whatever on a paper plate. Even when I go to like friends' houses, like if we go over to like Caroline and Mike's or Melissa and Jason's or Aaron and Eric's or whatever, and they grill out, and if they're gonna like, even like, they're like so nice, like they'll go out of the way and they'll be like, oh, we got you Beyond Burgers. And I'm like, thank you so much. And then I'm like, I have to ask you though, can you put it on like, what do you call it? Can you put it on like tinfoil? And then, like Alex's uncle, he put it on like a skillet on the grill. And then I'm like, and can you flip it with a different flipper? Cause it's all this. And then I think it was at Caroline's, I still got sick and I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure out why I was like still getting sick. And so what I think it is like when they shut the grill, it's like the juices and the smoke from the meat are going into the Beyond Burger. So last time when I was at Caroline's for Memorial Day or 4th of July or whatever, when was it? I don't even, Labor Day. I think it was Labor Day. Mike made my burger on the grill or on the stove. He made it on the stove, which was really sweet. But it's like, you have to be careful of stuff like that, and like my friend, she's always like, who are you a vegetarian for? She's like, you're gonna mess up as a vegetarian. You're gonna learn, things like, I bought a bag of, this was the first couple months that I started. I went to Five Below and I bought like all of this like Haribo candy. You guys know the Haribo candy? It's like the gummies. Like Five Below has every kind of Haribo candy that you could possibly want, and I literally bought every gummy candy, and I was so excited to do that video, and I was going to show all of the gummies. And I like picked up the bag and I like showed it and something, I can't remember. And I got like all these comments and people were like, so you do know that gummies have gelatin in them, don't you? And gelatin is made from animal bone, marrow and matter and all this kind of stuff. No, I didn't know that, actually. I didn't know that till that time. It's like, people always assume that I say, like, stuff about McDonald's, and they're like, oh, whatever, and, like, McDonald's, like, fries are made in meat, or, beef. I don't eat McDonald's fries. I don't really ever go to McDonald's, period, and if I do, it's for a Diet Coke, like, And so, it's like, I did this drama video, and I was talking about fish sandwiches from McDonald's, and this girl said, if you're eating fish sandwiches from a McDonald's, you're not a vegetarian, you're actually a pescatarian. And I'm like, I so bad wanted to say, if you had watched my, because, she said, I'm a huge fan of yours, but, and I wanted to say, if you were a huge fan of mine, you would know that I don't ever eat fish, except for like maybe crab meat rangoons back in the day. Oh, that was like another thing too. It was like, like with like Panda Express, and people were like, oh, Panda Express this, and I didn't know. What you learn as you go. And so like my friend is always like, Peter, who are you a vegetarian for? First of all, like, look at my sideburns, you guys. My hair, I mean, I still have like 2 weeks until I get it cut. It is so bad. But she's like, you learn as you go. You're never going to be perfect with vegetarianism. And it's not like you start over at day one. It's not, whatever. It's not like sobriety or anything like that. It's like, you just learn. You do you do your best, right? And I don't have any plans to not be a vegetarian. I don't really know today. I mean, I do think about this sometimes. Like, I don't know what it would take me to not be a vegetarian today. Like, I don't know what it would take for me to go. Like, interestingly enough, it's like I'm almost getting stricter with it. Like, I always get an omelet on Sundays when well, not always, but typically, if I don't, I get a waffle. But typically, I get an omelet when we go to brunch on Sundays. The last couple times, you guys, it's been a little watery, and it's kind of made me a little sick. Like, I'm like, I don't know that I can do eggs anymore. Like, I'm not sure that I can do eggs. And it's kind of things like that like change over time. And that's why I say I don't know that I'll never be a vegan. I really do love cheese, but I also am like, I can't drink a glass of milk, like I'll do almond milk or oat milk or one of those things, but I can't drink a glass of milk. I love cheese though. So I think like, and now we have so many products out there like Nubuck and things like that like you wouldn't have to have leather, so I don't know. I wouldn't say that I would ever rule out being a vegan. I think it's really, really strict. I admire and am inspired by people that are. I think to be vegan and to eat like fresh, vegetables and, I was going to say plants, but fresh vegetables and, nuts and, fruit on a regular daily basis and salads and all that. I mean, I think ultimately that's probably the healthiest for us. I mean, I've read so many books and studies now that really talk about, how healthy that is. And we're now seeing people like in our 80s and 90s, like Clint Eastwood, who swear by vegan diets and like are really like, you can see it. Like, I mean, they're in their 80s and their 90s and they have like no clogged arteries, they have no disease, they have nothing wrong with them. And, is that genetics or is that, I don't know, but, I know that there are people out there that believe the opposite, and I'm like, hey, you believe you got to do you, So yeah, so that's why I'm a vegetarian today. I was like thinking in my head, it's like when you watch these zombie shows, you think like, I know this is going to sound weird, but somebody, at least one of you out there has thought this when you're watching these zombie shows. Like if you had to, like, to survive, like, could you like eat, I don't know, like your pet or a stray. And I could not. I don't think I could. Like, I just absolutely don't think I could to survive. Like, if I had to, I don't think I could. And like, that's what I said. Like even looking at Alex's like chicken fingers tonight, they don't like gross. They don't like, it doesn't gross me out. Like when I go to like a steakhouse, it doesn't gross me out when somebody gets a steak. But I also don't know that I could eat it. Like, I honestly don't know that I could stomach like it going down. Like, I really don't think I could. Maybe I could, I don't know, but I don't think I could. Anyway, enough of this, and it's dark, and it's getting a little cold out here, so I'm going to get off here and eat my yats, and get off the front porch tonight. So it, like, totally got pitch black. I mean, look at it. It is, like, pitch black out there now. Halloween weekend, and thank you guys for hanging out in the front porch with me tonight, and I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Saturday. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And remember these 3 very important things. 1, you can start your day over whenever you want. I'm trying to get in the focus zone here. 2, practice random acts of kindness, but don't tell anyone. And 3, most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. And also, be kinder to one another, love one another a little bit more, and be kinder and love yourself a little bit more, and a lot more. And be kinder and love yourself a lot more. And I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you. Oh, and for those that need to hear it, and those that want to hear it, and those that just happen to stick around, one more I love you. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you. Happy birthday, Lena.